hello, fancy people.
Oh, fancy people. Who did you meet? She's just looking at her. I was like, fancy people. Okay, sure. Hello, out there in podcast world. Welcome to another episode of Soaps and Sass.
GH edition.
GH edition, episode 19, the week of May 12th to 16th. Whew. I want to say a lot happened. I don't know that a lot happened.
It felt like a lot happened.
Yeah, it felt like a long week in any case. I'm not sure that GH has yet realized that we are in May sweeps. But I guess they have a different plan, or I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
But anyway, we are your host S's.
Hostesses?
Hostesses.
I'm Mama Sass.
And I am a no longer sick baby Sass.
Yay!
So, let's get into this somewhat, not really, kind of sort of interesting week in the hospital.
Yeah, okay, so there was some progress in the storylines.
There's some.
But not enough for me. This is yum.
I'm like, are you saving it for the last 2 weeks, or are you just saving it all for the nurses' ball, which is supposed to happen this coming week, but we'll see.
We'll see. I don't know. It's not an action movie, I can tell you that.
No.
This is more like a documentary almost.
Oh, gosh.
Speaking of documentaries, we'll just jump right into that part of the recap. Kai is ready to come out of the hospital.
Yeah, he wants to be there for Trina and the nurses' ball.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Stella said no.
Not much more to say about that.
Right. Anyway, moving on.
Well, maybe a little bit more, but we'll touch on that later. The referendum on the peers.
Yes.
That's still happening.
Indeed.
Golly. Jordan and Laura talk about Laura possibly being in trouble. Tracy has come out very firmly against Laura, but in the sense of she's working with Sidwell and Drew and I guess Boyle for all intents and purposes.
To get rid of Drew.
To get rid of Sunny.
Thank you. To get rid of Sunny, not Laura.
Right. So Laura's a little bit panicked because she didn't think that Tracy would make that kind of alliance.
Which technically, it's like yes and no. Because she's not trying to get you out of the mayor's office.
No.
She's just trying to get rid of Sunny, but it's coming across like she's trying to get her out of the mayor's office.
Right. I didn't understand Laura's confusion because not like Tracy didn't actually tell her herself what she was doing. Like, what did you think was going to be all tied into that? Last week, as we mentioned, Sidwell made an offer to Sunny to sell the Pierce, or to buy the Pierce from Sunny. Sunny tells Jason that he's considering Sidwell's offer, and Jason thinks it's a trap, that they'll be putting targets on their back if they sell to Sidwell. Sunny hears him, but he's going to do what he's going to do because they both want out of the business. He just needs to confirm if Sidwell really is the person who's been trying to kill him or not. And Sunny also meets with Laura to tell her that he thinks Sidwell is the solution to their problem. Laura does not agree, but she certainly sees Sunny's point and is not going to
stop him.
Yeah, exactly.
In the land of Droosh, where Drooshes doth lie.
Sure. So
both horizontally and verbally.
Shakespeare, are you done?
I saw it. I took it.
Okay. Well, as we know, Curtis is still putting. I said Curtis. Drew is still putting the screws to Portia. She's got to do more. As we said last week, we're not really sure what this panic is because Curtis already knows. And in fact,
which has been called out.
Yes, it got called out this week that Curtis knows. So Portia tells Curtis that, she's trying to protect him. She wants him to leave Drew alone in the press, let Drew shoot himself. Curtis is very suspicious. He's like, this is not normal. Ultimately meets with Jordan to talk about his wife. And Jordan's like, you know what? I'm not the person. But they continue the conversation anyways. And Curtis says, I think Portia's lying to me. And as he talks it through, he realizes that the only explanation that makes any sense is that Drew is blackmailing Portia. He later summons Drew to his office and says,
after having a conversation with Nina.
True, right? So
yeah, just to be clear, some of the things we talk about, not all of it is written down because we didn't write things down. So if we're like, oh, true, it's because we didn't write it down.
Yes. So probably a good thing that Curtis spoke to Nina, because since Nina and Portia are in cahoots, hopefully Nina this time will think to give Portia a heads up of what's going down. But anyways, so Curtis ends up summoning Drew to his office and saying, why are you blackmailing my wife?
Right. In other news, Ava visits Portia and tells her, just tell your husband the truth. He knows what you did with Heather Weber's result, so you might as well just tell him the truth. Right?
And Portia's like, yeah, but I've been lying to him and he can't tolerate lies. And Ava accurately points out, you can tell him now and stop this, or 6 months from now, your marriage absolutely will be over and done with.
Right. And then a little somebody overhears this conversation.
That was Gannon, wasn't it?
Yes, which I actually made a note about on something very specific that Gannon did, and it left me confused and curious.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely come to that.
Yes.
Soulless Lulu Spencer. This chick. I'm telling you what. Again, happy with the actress.
Yes.
Not happy with the character. I don't know who has me more angry, Drew or Lulu, but I think it's probably Lulu.
And the sad thing is that if they had actually gotten the original Lulu back, oh my goodness, my heart would be breaking. It's not breaking as much as I thought it would because... No. Moving on.
Or continuing. So right. Tracy confronts Lulu about her behavior towards Brooklyn, and Lulu's trying to play all innocent, like, I don't know what you're talking about, we'll just never get along. And Tracy lays it out. It's like, I know exactly what you know and what you've been doing with Brooklyn. And Lulu's very surprised. Tracy's like, I need you to drop the story. After some back and forth, Lulu agrees to drop the story.
She basically has her fingers crossed behind her back.
Then we fast forward to Tracy asking Jason to find her great-grandson. Jason asks her a few questions, finds out Brooklyn has no knowledge of this request. So Jason says, no, I won't help you. That's going to be up to Brooklyn. If she comes and she wants my help, no problem.
Tracy offers him a little incentive.
She did.
Which was, I will drop my support of voting against Sonny and vote for him if you do this. And he's like, well, that is an enticing offer. I will decline.
Indeed. And he tells Sonny that happened.
Right. So I will say this. Too many people now know about Brooklyn, and it's like, y'all can't keep your mouth shut.
Indeed.
Anyway.
Lulu is incensed, interrupts Carly's lunch with Jack, drags Carly over to her house, and where she basically tells Carly that she has figured out who Dante's son is.
Is going to reveal the truth.
She, is fully intending to tell Dante everything. And Carly's like, okay, so you've got proof.
And you're going to play God.
No, she says, you got proof of this.
Well, yes, but also she's like, you're going to play God.
Well, that comes afterwards.
No, she says it before. It's like, you're going to play God.
All right. Ultimately, Carly tells Lulu to get incontrovertible proof before she blows the secret out of the water.
Or she's going to ruin a whole bunch of lives and get a whole set of fire upon her tail that she's not looking for.
Well, yes. So I will continue along that line very quickly. Lulu meets with Cody.
Cody confronts Lulu.
I was going to say, it's a bit of a stretch that she meets with him.
She's at the coffee house. Cody confronts Lulu because he got word from Tracy about the foolishness she be doing, and she just spills the secrets. And now Cody is siding with Lulu.
And Lulu is very excited because finally somebody's on her side.
It's like, why are you excited about this? You're about to ruin someone's life. You're about to ruin a whole set of people's lives by doing this. And not ruin... Okay, you're gonna ruin and also improve the lives, but more so ruin because you're about to blow a secret that you had no business telling to people out of the water. You're going to... I'm going to stop before I just have to walk away.
And as we all know... So
friendships might be ruined.
Yes, friendships might be ruined.
I say might. Yes, familial relationships will be ruined. Friendships will be ruined. Y'all playing a game of Uno. That is what is happening. Y'all are playing a game of Uno because you are about to ruin friendships and families.
Well, the other thing is Cody was under the impression, or just assumed, really,
he assumed because Brooklyn never said anything about getting an abortion. He assumed that.
Can I finish a sentence?
No, I'm. Pass me Carrington. Let me clutch Carrington.
Don't bring Carrington into this. No. So, as we all know, Cody's so fantastic at keeping a secret. So really now, I think you and I should place a bet on who's going to reveal first, Lulu or Cody? Although my money's on Cody because Cody does get drunk and lose his temper. So... If
he does, it'll be at the nurse's ball.
Well, we figure
the bet is who reveals first and by when.
So much is going to come out of the nurse's ball. So much. Michael's probably going to show up, or somebody's going to... Yeah, and probably because somebody would have called Michael to let him know about the upcoming trial, which is a whole different topic. But in any case, yeah.
Anyway...
So that's happening with the with the custody, and when we say that Lulu told Cody everything, she told him everything down to her theory that Gio is the son, like broke it all down. And Brooklyn and Gio showed up at the coffee shop just to have coffee, but positive bias and positive confirmation. Right. You see what you want to see. So Lulu is convinced she's right. I mean, we all know that she's right, but
and the thing that bugs me is she keeps saying, like, Brooklyn is a liar, like. I wouldn't put it past her to lie about this. And it's like, when it comes to her child, why would she lie about this? You saw the way she reacted when you confronted her about it. Like, the only lie is that she did not tell Dante.
However, Lulu did acknowledge it is possible that Brooklyn doesn't know, she refuses. But she doesn't believe it.
She doesn't. She refuses. She simply refuses. She's like, that is all I will say. She says she doesn't believe it. I think she just refuses to because of all the beef and tension she's got with Brooklyn.
Sure. Refuses, chooses, either way.
One thing
she acknowledges it's possible, but because of her bias, she doesn't think it's likely.
One thing I will say, and I kind of had a dream about this, I hope to, not really, but it was more of a thought as I was sleeping. I hope that Lulu just blows this out the water and Chase is like, you're under arrest for harassment, because that's essentially what you've just done. You've continually harassed his wife, and it's like you're under arrest for harassment and breaking and entering and distributing information that you had no right to do, which I know you can't really arrest someone for distributing information, but at this point I'm just like, Chase, be petty, arrest the woman.
Well, you can arrest her for breaking and entering
and harassment. That is all I will say, is just be petty and arrest her. I don't care if Laura comes in being like, mayor's daughter. I don't care if Dante's like, whoa, man, like, this is much. Like, no. I told her, if she keeps this up, I'm going to arrest her. She kept it up. I'm arresting her.
Well, we know that Chase will do that because he arrested Brooklyn. That's how he and Brooklyn met.
I know. So I'm just saying, it was a dream, it was a thought, and I hope it comes to fruition. Chase, arrest this woman.
Okay.
Moving on. Nurse's ball.
Yeah, I see the nurse's ball. Okay,
it's very brief.
Yes. So this year, Chase and Anna apparently are going to be tangoing together. Makes me miss Duke Lavery.
It does make me miss Duke. I go with an because why is your employee doing the tango with you? I bet she wishes she had Valentine.
I'm sure. Gio mentions that he had a rough night because of the whole cuss out that Dante gave him. It says they commiserate. I didn't write this, so I don't know who they is. But I think Jocelyn. I can't remember who he was talking to.
No, I think he was commiserating with
Lucy.
No, I think he was commiserating a little bit with, if not Emma, then it was Brooklyn, because Brooklyn was there.
Right. Not that it really matters. But anyways, they're all trying to make Gio feel better, whoever they are, and telling him that Dante was just scared. I think it might have been Anna as well. But anyway, Jen shows up at the rehearsal to catch a sneak peek, and they're like, no, you gotta go. He's not leaving because he's underwriting the whole thing. But anyways, ultimately, Jen sees nothing.
Amen.
Because Lucy and Anna, Felicia...
Maxie. Because Maxie was there.
Well, Maxie was going to stand in, but she wasn't part of the act. So I think it was Felicia, Lucy, and Anna were waiting for another person to perform the act. Doesn't it turn out that Tracy is the person they were waiting for, and she shows up and they start rehearsal. What with respect to the teen story, or the young adult storyline, I suppose I really should call it, is Emma meets with Dalton and finds out she did not get the job. What a shocker, because we all know Joss had to get it, which she does. But Emma's like, no, I don't understand. And Dalton's saying, well, I'm not sure what to tell you, but the research paper that you turned in was
crap on a cracker.
Not great. And she says, what are you talking about? And he shows it to her, and then she's like, that's not my work. She's livid. She goes and sees Gio and is crying on his shoulder, and he says, well, maybe you could show him the previous version, and you know, try that way. And she's like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. I was too upset. I didn't think about it. So she goes back to the offices where, as I mentioned, Joss has already gotten the job. So Emma goes and basically knocks and barges in because she didn't wait for her to come in, and finds Joss in the office going through Dalton's files, finds out that Joss has the job, and she is livid. She and Joss get into a row, and basically Emma accuses Joss of having sabotaged her. Cool. Something else crossed my mind. Oh, Rocco. Rocco's basically trying to get Gio out of trouble because Dante was questioning him about what exactly happened on the beach.
And still blaming him.
And
Gio, that is.
Rocco was saying, it's totally my fault. I went drinking. Danny went off and did something else.
Gio didn't even know I was there. And
Dante was like, well, you and Danny went together. You should have stayed together. He's like, listen, you can't blame Danny because Danny didn't know I was going to start boozing up. He says, never you mind. Should have stuck together. And then he says, basically, I was passed out on the beach, and then Gio showed up. And, you know, Dante was asking questions like, no, but Gio was there before. And he's like, no, he was not.
It's like, Gio didn't know I was there. And if he did, he surely as heck would not have let me drink.
Yeah.
And Dante he's blinded. He does not care.
It. You know, I almost lost my only son. He was the adult in the room, blah, blah, blah.
I'm like, just wait till that comes out.
Yeah, there was a point where Gio is speaking with Sonny, and Sonny is basically telling him, yes, Dante was angry, Dante was scared, but Dante is wrong. Like, you did the best you could with what you knew.
Exactly. And
the knowledge that you have. You're not grown, you're not a medical professional. Why would you know? So don't worry about it. Gio seems to feel better, but I take Gio's point very well. Mm-hmm. It's like, I get that he was angry, but the things that he said, he basically expressed what he's been thinking of me all the time. He didn't say anything he didn't feel.
Right.
And I totally see that.
Yep.
You know, it's one thing to say he's irresponsible, but to say that he's pampered and has never had yeah.
And then later, after Brooklyn and Gio come back from their little coffee date, or outing, I'll say, they find Rocco at the Quartermain kitchen. And Rocco and Gio exchange some words and, you know, apologizing and saying, look, what my dad said, don't please, like, it is not your...
it against me.
Right, it's like, it's not your fault, it's all mine. And Gio's like, no, it is my fault because I was the adult. I should have done A, B, C, X, Y, Z. And Rocco's like, no, like, you didn't know I was there. You didn't know I was drinking. Please, like,
don't take it on.
Don't
take it on.
And they're basically good. They're cool.
Yeah.
And Gio and Brooklyn start talking again, and Gio is very upset. He's like, what Dante said, it's like, he's basically said how he feels about me, and he will never see me differently. And basically, he's pretty upset. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, GH is laying a very good foundation, but they're taking too long. There's got to be payoffs every so often. Right. There have not been any so far. So I'm very disappointed in how May Sweeps is shaping up.
And also that day, which we came to find out was Gio's birthday.
Yes.
Gio
did not know.
No, Gio believes he's born on June 4th, but he was born on May 15th, May 14th, May 15th, around then. And so everyone's kind of, especially Lois and Brooklyn, are like, happy birthday. Lois especially knows it's Gio's birthday, so she's like, happy birthday, Gio. Not to his face, but kind of under her breath. Brooklyn is sad because obviously she's thinking about her son more often now, and she's like, it's his birthday, so she's a little sad. Then on a real sour note that was not mentioned in, unfortunately, the Droosh category, he decided to take his boat over to the Quartermaines, and he confronted Tracy about what he wants in helping her get rid of Sonny, which is the Quartermaine name and access to the Quartermaine property, which Tracy's like, I can give you the name. I have no control over this property. If you want that, you need to go speak to Monica. And after what you did to her grandson, good luck. So get off this property and get out of this house, because Alan gave it to Monica. As she stalks off, and Drew's like, huh. And then proceeds to go, I guess, find Monica and have a discussion. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. One other thing that I neglected to mention is the custody battle or the divorce between Willow and MC Third. You good?
I'm giving her some bombastic side eyes.
Indeed. So Carly recognizes that she messed up because she demanded that Diane put the divorce and the custody hearing on the calendar. Diane comes over and says, yeah, that's coming up in a couple of weeks. And Carly was shocked because Michael's not going to be ready. She has decided and determined she is not going to tell Michael. Jason, who was there when Diane was giving the news, is completely against it, thinks Michael should be informed. Carly says, no, I'm going to handle it myself.
Yep.
She later informs Sonny of all that's transpired. And Sonny's basically like, Carly, man, you screwed up so hard, it's not even funny. And Carly's like, I'll make it right. I'll fix it. Sonny does not agree. He's just like, good luck to you, but you're at risk of losing your son while you're trying to protect his children.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Nina and Willow and Drew, to some extent, are in shock because they have also gotten the news. Drew's like, don't worry about it. Willow's like, yeah, but Martin's not in town, so they end up hiring Rick. There's a shocker. Rick is very excited. Nina calls out his ulterior motives, not liking Sonny, not liking Michael, etc., etc. And Rick is like, yes, all that is true, but I also like getting paid, and I'm quite sure I can win. And Willow is worried about Drew's recent shenanigans having an effect, and the judge has to believe us, and says, well, Michael basically abandoned his children, so that's the tack we should take.
Yeah. Not interesting on that one.
Very interesting. So later, Willow's at rehearsal for the nurses' ball, and she's speaking with Gannon, and she basically shares everything that's happening. Gannon says, in an ideal world, what would be the outcome that you would want? And she says, well, I want custody of my children, but Michael's an amazing father. I don't want to take them away from him. And he says, well, where does Drew factor into all of that? And she has a moment of pause because it's like, yeah, where does Drew factor into all of this? And he says, listen, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what decision to make. I think you're an amazing nurse. You clearly are competent. You make very intelligent decisions. I'm sure you can do the same here. We'll see if that plays out any way, shape, or form. Nina, in the meantime, hightails it over to Carly's to let her know what all is going on and that they need to do something to get the kids away before it comes to the whole custody battle. And the last thing that I neglected to mention is Rick and Ava continue to force Alexis's hand. Alexis has engaged Spinelli to try to find out where the car is, which he does. Alexis goes over to the warehouse looking for the car. In the meantime, Elizabeth and Lucky are speaking, and Elizabeth lets him know that Rick got a fancy new sports car. The insurance company took Rick's car, which Lucky's like, that don't make sense. So he also goes looking for the car. He and Alexis end up at the warehouse pretty much at the same time. The car has been moved. These two feisty people have left Alexis a note asking her if she's looking for something when Lucky shows up. And basically, Lucky lets her know everything. He tells her he is very much aware that Christina cut the brakes. So we'll see what happens with those two and how they collaborate going forward.
Yep.
And I think that was all the news that was fit to print for the week.
Yep.
All right. So if we go into our categories and break down more of the stories of the week. Comedy moment of the week?
Well, definitely Alexis opening that garage and the car not being there, because I said that's a very big garage and there does not appear to be a car. And it's like, oh look, Alexis, ooh, you got played, girl.
Indeed. For me, it was Emma's nostril flare when she saw that Joss had been hired. Like, I don't know if the cameraman intended to catch that, but it was fantastic for me. It made me laugh right out loud almost through the whole commercial break. As did Tracy at the nurses' ball rehearsal.
Yeah, that was just...
That was so over the top. Like,
oh, I wasn't ready.
Who could be ready? I don't know that Tracy has ever actually participated in the performances at the nurses' ball. I should have looked that up before we met. But it's a song and dance number, and they're like, okay, we're going to be dancing, so let's rehearse the dance. And Tracy's like, no. I'm going to be the star, and plays out her hands, and y'all will dance around me. I was like, that is so typical Tracy. So I quite like that. Do you have any other comedy moments you want to add?
I don't think so.
All right. What had me hot? Oh gosh, it has to be bad because she's taking a deep breath and a sigh. I don't know if that came across on the mic.
I don't think it did. But
she's aggravated.
I'm very aggravated. I'm like, Cody, I for sure, Cody, Lulu forever and always until this mess gets resolved and she can do something other than torment a poor woman. But for sure, Cody, because I'm like, I understand why he's upset, especially after what Lulu's like, as someone who has been in the situation of like adoption and whatnot and like not knowing who your father is. I'm like, okay, I get that. But how you jump into the conclusion that Brooklyn lied to you about getting rid of the baby? It's like, you gave her money, you drove her to the bus station. After that, you just assumed she had an abortion. Like, you didn't bother to ask her, be like, hey, after dropping up the bus station, like what happened? Like, what did you do? It's like, did you end up keeping the baby? Like, you didn't ask her any of that. Like, you just went to that conclusion, and now you're like, oh, no. We're blowing this secret out the water. It's like, Cody, by doing this, by helping Lulu do this, I'm like, you're already going to be in trouble with Dante because you knew for 20 years that Brooklyn got pregnant and didn't say anything. Yep. But now you're about to have an even bigger situation with Dante because you're going to help his ex-wife blow the secret of his child out the water and just... Oh, and you're also going to have problems with Tracy.
Yep.
Because you're close with Tracy, and it's like, how can you go and help her do something that's going to impact my grandchild and my great-grandson? Like, that... So, Cody is just... Another thing that had me hot... What is it? Wait, did you want to say anything?
No, go ahead.
Another thing that had me hot is freaking Drew being like, we're going to paint Michael as the absentee father, as the abandoned the children father. It's like, sir, are you insane? Because as you pointed out, how can you classify it as he's abandoned the children if he has video calls with them? Sure, they're through either Dante or Carly or Christina, but he talks to the children.
Yep.
He doesn't go through it through Willow because tensions are high. It's like, if I'm gonna go hypothetically, if you and my dad had split when my sister and I were much younger, and it was very clear to other family members that tensions were high for whatever reason, it's like, and we're with you, and you're like, okay, or actually no, sorry, we're with him, hanging out, whatever, and we want to talk with you. I don't think you're gonna wanna, knowing you would, because it's for us, and you're gonna put that aside. But it's like, would you blame like any of our uncles or aunts or even any of our grandmothers for being the go-between to reach out on your behalf for us to talk to you.
Right.
Or vice versa. It's like, no. It's like, you're going to have your situations and your stuff and deal with whatever's going on with between you two privately and not involve us. But it's like, but that's it. Because it's like, if you were to like video call or whatever, my dad, when we're kids, and, you know, you start talking and whatever, and it starts getting loud, you're like, I hope the kids aren't going to hear, but the kids might hear.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're going to have this conversation while the kids are at school, and we can, you know, whatever. So it's like, yeah, it makes sense that you're going to have someone else have video conferences with the kids on the father's behalf. It's like, why do I, like, if he doesn't want to talk to you, at least, or whatever, it's like, just because he's not talking to you or trying to communicate to the kids through you does not mean he's abandoned them.
Agreed.
It just means he does not want to talk to you.
It's a stretch, but Drew has been stretching.
He really has. And I'm just like, the secret that he is the reason you didn't talk to Michael in Baden-Baden needs to come out. Well, because I'm like, you are like, because this made me think of when she was talking to Gannon, and he's like, well, what's the ideal world? Where does Drew fit in and all this and yada yada yada. Mm-hmm. And then he found out that she was fighting for full custody. He had this weird reaction. Mm-hmm. And I was like, have you been in this situation? Like, do you have kids and you can't see them because their mother fought for full custody and painted you as a bad guy? Yeah. Were you the kid and whichever parent? Am I interrupting something?
No, not at all. Not at all. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Or was he a kid and one of his parents fought for full custody and paid the other back? Like, right. I'm like, what happened in your life that you had such kind of like almost an adverse reaction to her saying she's going to fight for full custody and do X, Y, Z involving Michael?
Right. I don't know. I can't speak to that because Drew does not operate with good sense.
He doesn't.
Again, hopefully it's going to come down to something to do with the programming done by Helena and Faison and Peter August.
I honestly don't think so, but
I don't think so either. And it just lines up to you know, I've said this before, I don't care for the actor, I don't care for what they've done with the character, so, you know, I'm just waiting for somebody to shoot the senator, to be honest, and, you know, offer them. So that's where I'm at.
Hopefully they don't miss twice.
Okay, so I will parenthese very briefly. I'll just take a little sidetrack because you asked if you were interrupting something.
Yeah.
And I do apologize because I really was listening to you. But the question I had was, I mentioned earlier if Tracy has ever participated in a nurse's ball before. Lord. And so I was looking, and yes, she has. Her and Monica were in the nurse's ball in 2013 singing Jump for My Love with Epiphany. So I will show that to you after the podcast, but it is available on YouTube.
Oh, dear Lord.
So, yes, it's going to be interesting to see because I don't think I was watching at that point. That's my to-do. What had me hot is really the lack of respect for people's privacy. Oh? Just in general. That's my general peeve for the week. Lulu, as we've spoken about, with her doggedness over getting the information supposedly for Dante. At this point I don't believe it's anything to do with Dante anymore. No. I think it's about.
I think initially when you first found out, yes. After that, it was just out of spite.
How do I stick it to Brooklyn?
It's like you tried to break me up, so I finally got the payback 20 years later.
Exactly. So that's number one. Then we have Cody. Now she's filled Cody in. Cody's let's blow the sky high. Let's find this out. Get the evidence. You know, and he's ready to just go tell the truth now. You know, with no facts to back it up.
No.
And then Tracy. I couldn't believe how out of order Tracy is. It's like, he should have been raised a Quartermain. That is my great-grandson. Lois, how dare you not tell us? And then she turns around and she involves Jason, tells Jason Brooklyn's secret, and it's like, no, I need you to find him. I find him, and then you're going to do what? He deserves to know he was a Quartermain? And as Jason pointed out, that is a blessing and a curse. Where are you going? I just, oh, it's outrageous. Has me interested. Don't get me wrong, but it's just outrageous.
As what the France am I trying to say? As one of the girl groups from Gem and the Holograms, you sing truly, truly, truly outrageous. Oh wait, that's the theme song. Never mind.
Oh my goodness.
I know it took me too long to get there.
Oh my goodness.
Truly, truly, truly outrageous.
Do you have anything to go into the who called for that or what did you do that for category?
Yeah, Tracy, who called for you to call Jason? Because it clearly was not Brooklyn.
No, it was not. Oh, mercy. Anyways.
Make it make sense.
Portia, make it make sense. Your husband already knows you tamper with results, so why can't you tell him? Make it make sense.
Indeed. The other thing that we talked about that makes no sense, Lulu just barely signed her deed or her rental contract, whatever it is. Is her home the new hangout spot? Everybody's at Lulu's place but Lulu.
Every time they get a new set, everyone goes to the new starts to thin out.
Like, oh my goodness. Laura met Jordan over there.
It's like, you don't have your own apartment?
Exactly, because I don't think Rocco was home, so it's not like she was minding Rocco. So I don't know why they were there. Dante and Christina were over there. Again, although I think Dante was, in fact, there with Rocco.
No, they're waiting for Rocco to come home from school because they said, how was school? He said, fine. Right. She's like, is there any other answer from that? He's like, no.
Okay, fine. So, I mean, I suppose I could see Dante being over there, but it's just, why are we always at Lulu's place? I didn't get it. Villain of the week or hero of the week? Which one do you want to do first?
I'll just go with the villain of the week. I initially thought this person was hero of the week until they done turned around and said they'd just help in the chaos. So, Cody, you get my villain of the week this week. Because what the actual freaking fromage, Cody?
Tell us how you really feel.
Do you want me to go on a rant for a half hour?
No, I do not.
Then I will not.
Okay, well, I concur with your assessment. I also have Cody as my villain of the week for the exact same reasons, but not quite so passionate. But yes, same thing, and we've already talked about what it is he did, so we will move on to hero of the week.
Chase.
Oh, do tell.
Because Brooklyn was upset because it was her son's birthday, and he just like, my wife, do not cry. And just the best husband ever. And then he did the same thing for Lois, because Lois done showed up, and he's like, I know why you're here. Tell me. Lay on me the feelings. And he did what a good son-in-law would do. He listened and comforted. So Chase for the hero.
Okay. I agree. I put down Gannon. I already gave away my reason. But I put Gannon as hero of the week for speaking some truth to Willow. And he was asking her questions, and he's like, no. I want to hear what you think. Nina's not here. Drew is not here. It's just me and you. What does Willow think about this situation? And telling her to think for herself. I thought that was pretty cool. Qu'est-ce que?
Obviously, just Cody and Lulu thinking they're gonna make this less of a, or not less of a thing, but that they think they're doing the right thing, and I don't know if they think that people are gonna thank them for this, but they clearly think something good is gonna happen out of this. Which, yes, you reunite a child with his mother and his father. Yes, your son gets a new brother. Yes, he gets a whole new family that he technically already knew about and lived with and were already family with. But he learns the truth. But does all of that good outweigh the bad and the negative that you are about to inflict on all of these people and their relationships to each other? No. Not by much. They're so close, but I'm like, the bad is outweighing the good right now by a good margin.
Right. Okay. That's fair. My Delulu of the week, I think, is Willow, as per usual. To think that she can keep listening to Drew and everything's going to work out, with her I need a judge to believe. Why would you risk it? You clearly did not learn enough in nursing school about mitigating risk. You should have been distancing yourself from Drew from time. They gave you the good advice at the beginning. Stay in the boathouse. You can see Drew wherever you want. But you're here and he is on his place. Not the two of you together. Willow, you're lost at sea. I'm so sorry.
I agree. I'm like, Carly told this to Sunny. It's like, we have video proof of the man in the bar doing body shots. And proof, we have his medical record that he showed to the world that he had ketamine in his system. We have video proof of him sleeping in the kids' nursery with the wife while they were still married. It's like, then you have, and as you just said, we have the deal that, you know, stay in the boathouse or stay in the gatehouse. You can see your man whenever you want. Just don't bring him here. We have the proof that, or not the proof, but it's like, you're going to try and paint Michael as the absentee father with the whole, he could have stayed here. But it's like, you literally asked Michael. You went and you asked Michael, he's like, yeah, I'm going to Germany. He told you with his own mouth. And then it's like, you're going to be like, oh, well, Michael decided to leave his children. It's like, he did what he thought was best. He wanted a speedy recovery, or not speedy, but he wanted a good recovery with less damage and less scars, so he'd be able to do the things that he wanted to do with his children. And we can get testimony. I wouldn't be surprised if they call Ava to stand, so it's like, yeah, we have the proof that she, like, whatever, and this is gonna help Michael. The burns. I don't think they would.
I know that's what you're talking about. Just like,
I know. Stretch of the imagination. Ooh. But the point is, it's like, he decided to do this. And it's like, also, I'm like, just video conference him and he doesn't have to leave. It can be so brief. Just be like,
that's very true.
It's like, you can literally just be like, he's in Germany. He can't physically be here because he's getting treatment for his wounds. But we can, video conference him in for a good 5 minutes and get his, on record, like his thoughts, what he wants to do on record, and nobody's thinking that.
That is so very true. I mean,
I'm like, he video calls with the children. You can't video call into a court date.
Well, no, I was gonna say it's happening a lot with court these days, where sometimes they do compel you to appear in person, but since the pandemic, they've been doing things online. So why not? Why not?
So it's just like,
All right. Make it sassy. So it's something I forgot to put in comedy moment of the week, so I flipped to make it sassy, except that I don't remember exactly what she said. Maybe you do. So the person I'm speaking of is Alexis's assistant, Suzanne. Spinelli showed up this week at Alexis's request, and Suzanne shows him in and it's like, can I get you something to drink?
Well, here's the thing. He barged in and Suzanne wasn't having it. Because she's like, I must announce you. It's like, no, it's fine. And she's like, no. And Alexa's like, Suzanne, it's okay. She's like, all right.
Right, but then she offers him something to drink. And he says,
or coffee, water, or tea, or something like that.
Right, and he's like, oh, do you have like lemon ginger tea or something like that?
Yeah, it's like, do you have like midnight dew? Like something very like, you fancy with this.
Absolutely. Well, and then she's like, no. Just crusty so. Which made me laugh because just episodes before, Brooklyn and Chase, would you like coffee, tea, water? And it's like, oh, do you have, chamomile or something? No, I'll go to the store and get it. She was so ready to run off. Spinelli comes in. No.
I think because he wouldn't let her do her job.
Maybe, but either way, it just made me laugh because of what we had just seen.
I know.
So, I just thought it was sassy and funny.
For my Make It Sassy, it was Chase and Brooklyn at the boathouse, talking, loving. And then she looks down at her watch. She's like, oh, shoot, I have to go. And she, for rehearsals for the nurse's ball. And so she gives him a quick kiss and says, I love you. And then she rushes off. And then Chase is like, oh, I love you too. And Brooklyn's like, duh. And just goes. I'm like, yes.
That was funny. That was sassy.
Like, yes.
That was nice and sassy. Absolutely.
I was like, yes, Brooklyn, tell him. Duh.
Any predictions?
Just chaos, heartbreak, tears. Hopefully some major slaps, i.e. a brunette to a very, very nosy blonde. Also, a certain blonde in handcuffs. I predict it. I don't think it'll happen, but I wish it.
Ava?
No. I said this earlier. Chase arresting Lulu.
Oh, so sorry. Sorry. I just throw her out of my mind as quickly as I possibly
No,
can.
and if anyone else is going to end up in handcuffs, it's going to be Christina. Mm-hmm. So imagine that comes out during the nurses' ball too.
Listen, there's gonna be all kind of things coming out, right? There's a few reveals waiting to happen. Nina sleeping with Drew.
That's got
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
And so this is where I'm flipping back to the things that we're following up on and the drop storylines. And I'm looking through my list and I see we did get a couple of things actually did come back. They did go back with a couple of things.
Yeah, I know they brought back Martin briefly. He's like he's out of town dealing with his issues.
Well, this is it. So we're still waiting to find out what Isaiah's family is into.
Right, especially with the way he reacted. I'm like, I think that ties into his family too.
The way he reacted
with
to
Willow.
Portia?
No, Willow. And being like, you're fighting for full custody? Like, again, his reaction was really weird, which is why I'm like, I think that ties into his family, but...
Okay. As you said, a little bit of what's happening with Martin and Callie in his alimony case. So Martin is still out of town. They did mention that. And still want to know still trying to figure out why Sidwell sent the knife back to Alexis. But maybe nothing's going to come of that. Actually, given that he was trying to get Marco hired, so that may be done, and I think I'll be okay with that.
Hopefully.
In the drop storyline, so the things that came back, one of the things we were wondering was who was handling Willow's divorce as Martin is out of town. So that did come back this week. And they did mention it explicitly, and they called Rick. Mm-hmm. So I will actually cross that off the list. And the other thing that came back that also got a mention is what happened with the investigation into Michael that Elaine was handling before she got hit by the car. So Willow did mention that as well while she was speaking with Rick. And Rick is like, oh, I'm like a dog with a bone. I have all kind of incentive. I will find something. So, Sasha, watch your back.
Yeah, there was something else I thought of that was a drop storyline, and I completely forgot about it again.
Oh, okay. Well, if it comes up, write it down. Let me know. We will add it to the list. Yep. Ooh, that's a terrible color.
Will do.
All right. Other drop storylines that we had mentioned in the past that I'm sure we're not going to get any answers for quite some time. We don't know where Taggart is. We don't know where Scotty is. We don't know where Obrecht is.
We also don't know where TJ is.
We don't know where TJ is. Right. We still don't know who turned in the gun that Alexis dropped over the bridge. We don't know who sent the gun to Ava after Austin was killed. Why are you reaching out to touch me?
Well, I wasn't to touch you, but I'm just getting your attention because I just realized. And I only realized this by mentioning TJ. Cody and Molly's relationship has been getting better. Mm-hmm. Cody is about to screw that up with his foolishness.
Why would that affect Molly?
Because it would affect Christina
and
which
now
would
that
affect
they're alive?
Exactly. There's that, but also just like, Cody, how you gonna blow people's secrets out the water like that?
Okay, sorry. Okay,
yeah.
So speaking of predictions, or going back to predictions then, do you think now that Lucky knows that Alexis is fully aware?
He'll tell Christina?
Yes, A, that he'll tell Christina, and B, recommend that she actually does go and commit herself, because having been a former cop, he will recognize, or should recognize, that that's the best defense she has at this point?
I would hope so, but I don't know.
Okay.
We'll have to see.
Let me see. We also don't know what is happening with Jason's arrest for Cyrus's murder. Like, that case is not proceeding.
Maybe that's what was in my head. I was like, what the fancy y'all doing?
Yep. And how long do we think Joss is going to keep the secret that she killed Cyrus? Or is that dependent on Jason going to trial?
I don't even think that's I think that is one dependent on Jason going to trial, because she did say as long as Jason's safe, then whatever. Mm-hmm. But also, I'm just like, how long will she actually stay in the WSB? And will she actually tell Emma? I don't think she will, because she can't, but...
No, I don't think she will either.
But do you think it's possible that Emma's going to screw Joss over with this because Joss screwed her over?
Oh, Emma's definitely going to go for revenge.
All
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think Uncle Sass said, I could be wrong, but I think he said that he thinks Emma's going to get recast.
Interesting, because I don't have an issue with this Emma now. I've gotten used to her, but I do want the old Emma back. But I don't think the old Emma can play this new Emma, which is the problem.
Well, this is it. They took the character in a different direction, and I don't think fans will react well if they bring her back.
Right, which is why I'm like, oh, I really miss that Emma. I like that Emma, but she wouldn't.
Yeah.
So it's just upsetting.
I don't know. What else did we have? I think those were the storylines that. So we had what looks like about 10 different storylines that we felt were dropped. 8 are remaining at the moment. 2 got addressed, so this is good. Right. And in fact, actually, this other one was kind of silly. It was why was Jens at the hospital when he got the tick and met Lucas, and did they supposedly meet this week while they were on dates?
I don't think that matters anyway.
No, I don't think so. So I'm gonna take that one out.
Yeah.
So bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
All right.
Anything else that you want to bring up before we let these lovely people get back to the business of life?
No.
All right.
All right. We are freeing you from this podcast. And you may go and do whatever you want to do.
Wow.
All I ask is that you come back next week for some more soaps.
And a lot more sass.
Bye.
Bye.